Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. My name is Nilaus and we are here with our very automated robot genocide. I know that some people don't like this. Some people feel sorry for all these half-working robots and all they get is a trip into the lava. Well, I'm gonna have to say that we have to do that with robots while we can, because at some point we'll be the ones on the conveyor belt straight into the lava. And on that doom and gloom, let's look at the plan for today. So, if we look at this, what we really want is actually the uranium, because if we look at this, I think that this is a good little sub-milestone along the way of legendary everything, is to make legendary everything in here. So what we're missing is the, where is it here, these ones, and they require the fission power. They require, well, what do they require? They require some uranium fuel cells. Uranium fuel cells require some uranium-235, and if I wanted the legendary, then I can either do it as fuel cells upgrades or as uranium upgrade. But since uranium also is used for biolabs, then I'm kind of leaning towards, you know, maybe actually get the uranium up and running, and it also has a, I think it's also a better way of doing it, because then we can also just have a Kovarex process running. But as we also talked about, then our good old Fulgora is less useful than it was back in the days. So let's have a look at this. There is a little problem here on Fulgora. I don't know if you can see what the problem is. It's not the fact that I have an upgrade planner in here. That's also a problem. But the problem is I have a lot of crap that will never ever be used. 235,000 of this. So what we need to do is we need to create a deleter. What is that? Well, it's basically like a build like this, but better, but simpler, like this one. And let's see, I need to get this much space here. There. So we need to make this, and I will try to make it similar to the other ones. That should be at ratio, good. And then I'm going to flip it, so it goes back, and also goes back. Damn. Yeah. And then what else are we going to do? We are going to put a list here and a list here. And this one will filter out anything that is legendary, because at this point we only want legendary stuff and stuff that isn't legendary. Done. And that will just be a box out here. So we only want normal stuff and legendary stuff. Anything in between is completely useless. And you know what? Oh, I can't do that. I'm going to do that. There. Okay, and then that has to be legendarized. And then I'm going to do an input, something like this. And here, something like this. And then we can just casually say, request the stuff that we want. Here, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. And we can either do, we can do stackers unless it's blue circuits. If it's blue circuits, then, and we stack, then it will inevitably jam there. This one just goes in all the way. Yep. And this one is here. Copy and flip it down here. And that gets upgraded. Good. And it will probably need more of these, because we have, what was it, 235,000, 200,000, 150,000. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. We also need to clean this up so that it doesn't store anything in between. So it basically just says, okay, at this point I only want to save the legendary ones here. Legendary, 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 legendary. And this will then be legendary only. There. And these are going to be the normal. So basically I want a little bit normal, and then whatever legendaries we can get. And that just means all of this stuff has to be filtered out. Ooh, okay, it did not actually work. You go over here. Yes. Yes, and this. Okay, and then that has to be propagated for every single one, every single place, every single part, and let it run for a few minutes to get rid of everything that is not legendary. That might take a while. It did take a while. Quite a while. 4 hours maybe? I think, yeah. 4 hours I think was the time. However, the end result is nothing. How How are you there? Oh, come on. Just one thing off. Just one thing. All right. All right. I'm going to get you. I knew that that's always one thing, right? So you're going to go out. Just get rid of it. But okay, we'll try again. Look at that. There's nothing but legendary stuff here and normal stuff. So normal and legendary, anything except, and the only exception is the accumulators, because I thought, I mean, I'm not going to throw away the accumulators because they might still be useful for power. So we kept the accumulators even though we have way too many of those. But anything else is just completely scrapped, and then we'll just have some upgrades. We also have like 15 Biterex, which is a little bit of a problem. I think we might want to send the Rosinante over to pick up some Biterex. This is a bad idea. It's a bad idea because I'm gonna forget all about it. So let's do that, and I'm gonna be requesting Biterex, legendary Biterex from Fulgora. Oh, this can only go wrong. And I want 15, and I want a stack of 15 of those. Oh yes, what could possibly go wrong? And then I'm gonna actually make it into a schedule here. Yeah. Right, we got the Biterex. It's time to head back. And okay, they're actually not a problem. They have 34 minutes to spawn, so that should be fine. But hey, that's 15, or that's actually 22 more modules, or more productivity modules. That's fine. All right, so what we're going to do today is we are going to look at NUKES, and we actually have a little mining patch out here. We're going to be taking this out. Ooh, yeah, that kind of sucks. Why are we not getting anything here? And okay, so there's a little bit still coming from that old patch. Okay, so I want to get all of this. Wow, that's slow. That is so slow. Let's get a few beacons in here. I know. Oh, that sucks. Okay, this should have been upgraded long ago, but I just never bothered with it. That should clean out that part. And if I look at here, I will just delete all this part. But we still want to be able to clean out whatever we have on the belt here. And then we'll rebuild it once we've cleaned out all the loose uranium here. Right, we have this little teeny tiny patch, and this is all we have to work with uranium. So that's a little bit of a challenge, but I think we'll manage. So first of all, I'm going to kill that one, and we're going to be building it as tight as possible. We're going to be using the best uranium miners, because the big miners, because they only have a resource drain of 8%, which is absolutely ridiculous. So that means that it just for reference, we have 550 productivity currently, which isn't that much actually. We want more of that. Let's throw in another one of these once in a while. And there we go. Okay, so with 550, that means every patch, this patch is 4.5 million. Okay, so let's just say that we have 4.5 million, and then we multiply by 6.5. That's the productivity. That's the productivity bonus. That means I would just have, with the productivity bonus, I would have 29 million uranium coming out, but it's only consuming 8% of that. So that means it's actually, will give us 365 million uranium before it runs out. That's a little bit absurd number. So I think we're good for now. I think we're good. So, but we do need to figure out how I want to get this. I do think I want to pack it as tightly as possible. That means this, right? This is as tight as possible, and we can use the small mining drills instead. Okay, that one here. Here. And I think that's going to be probably fine. Here. And then the other side, like that. So this is going to be our pattern, at least for now. And then that's about as big as we can make it. Good. And how many is this? This is 42, and we should have 42, right? We should have 42. And then I also need some power poles. The funny thing is, like, legendary small electric power poles are actually really good. The supply area is 15 by 15, and the wire reach is 17.5. That's really good for something that's dirt cheap, except of course you need the wood. But I have neither, so we are just gonna have to do it the old school way. So this thing here will be our build area. What we're going to get out here is, let's see, once all of these have been placed, they have all been placed, then I'm going to take a look at see how much we're getting in. 273. So it's more than one belt, but less than two belts. So we're going to get two belts inbound. And that will come into our build area. So now you can do a lot of complicated math on how to, what is the optimal. I will let you off the hook on all the calculations here, and instead I will show you. So what we want to do is we want to build something that's actually akin to what we have done over on Volcanus. Something akin to this, actually. Yeah, but this is only one belt inbound, so we kind of need something a little bit bigger. Yeah, so let's take the premise of this one and just change it a little bit. But then, so the foundation of this is going to be like this. So I'm going to consume things here. Oh, wow. Let's actually make them good ones. Unfortunately, we can't make the other one. I want them to be stacked whenever possible. So this is our foundation. Let's actually also get some of this, just so that we can actually see what the hell we're doing here. And that one. Okay, so I'll be consuming the normal ones. And then when the normal comes out, then 25% will be better quality than normal. So those 25 that are here, I will get those away. Like that. And this will be inbound. But this will not be enough for all of it, so I'm going to be doing exactly the same as we did here. Exactly the same, except different. Like that. That will be exactly the same, except a little bit different, I think. Yeah. This is tough. That is going to be... So basically I want this to merge to that, which isn't really possible. So I'm going to have an extra one. And then have you go in here. And then that will actually correspond to that, so that you can go up here. You go in here and you go in there. So that means it takes everything that's legendary or everything that's uncommon or above and takes that out. Does that seem to make sense? I think it kind of makes sense. But we can make it even better. Can we? I don't know. That is the normal stuff. Oh yes, we can make it even better. Because what if we then here instead say, I want only the stuff that's... Yeah, and that goes up into another loop. And yes, that's the uncommon one, goes up to another loop. Let's do another loop for that. That's... Did I misplace this? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just going to be this part. Yeah. Something like this. You're going in. Going up. You're going... I guess I kind of have to do this. Why? I don't know. Don't need to do that. Here, here. That comes out, merges in, there. So that recycles everything it needs. I'm not super happy about this. But then if I take... This will only be rare or legend. This will only be uncommon quality or higher. So what if we build the uncommon quality? Can we just build it a little bit down? No, I think I need to build this one a little bit up then. There we go. Can I even make it flush against this? I think I can. Okay, so now what we're seeing is... There. And so we get stuff out of this, which is either uncommon or above. If it's uncommon, keep recycling it. If it is more than uncommon, then you merge it with the other one that is anything that is more than uncommon. That merges in here. I'm just going to put this icon in so that it is block the output. And then that is a rare or better. That's exactly what we want. We just wanted to siphon out all the stuff that's rare or better. Does this work? Ah, no idea. No idea at all. But I think I like it. Yeah. Let's give it a shot. And you are done. You're getting sulfur. And then we need to get 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a 4 to 2 splitter. I think we can do that without too much hassle. I'm just going to make the laziest one of all because it's not going to be constrained in terms of throughput. Yeah. Oh, it's only 3. Ah, well, then I can't do it. 3. I don't know that one. And it's going to be 3 to 2. Yeah, that looks good. You going to be down here. And this thing here that we just built, I can just shunt it in here. Right. Let's give this a shot. And the only thing we're missing is the sulfur inbound. I have the good foresight to actually bring it in here. And so that we are ready to go. Here, brought all the way back from our base. As soon as we do that, we should start seeing some feeble amounts of uranium coming out. And it goes in. And then let's see if it works. So anything, first it splits half into the top one, which will then be recycled. And we're starting to see something coming out. Looks good, looks good. All right, we're gonna have to do this as a buffer chest now. Oh, not a buffer chest. What am I saying? But let's just put it into a buffer. So this is the best way. Taking all the normal ones, you upgrade as much as possible with your quality modules. You recycle into quality, and then you get higher quality out here. So now this quality needs to go into some where are they? They are, and we did make these in legendary quality, so let's do that as well. Let's see if we can get that in. Okay, where do we have it? I think we should have that somewhere, right? Don't know. Doesn't matter. We'll just get another one. So we get you, but legendary. Thank you. 50. Perfect. Okay, so that comes in here. Let's just kind of establish our silly substation grid here. I think the substation grid is working wonders for me, but it's also one of those things where I'm not gonna do that next time. It's been fun, but it's also been a little bit constraining. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to upgrade our uranium processing, but we're gonna do that for rare quality and with some productivity modules. No, we can't do that, but we can do that. We can do this. Where are you at? Are you coming in? Okay. I think I just need to go from map view. Productivity modules or quality modules? I think quality modules. There. We'll try to get that. So that will just be a simple in and out. Here, here. And how many do we want? Well, 10. And it's just going to be a simple in here and a simple back there. Good. So that's 1, 2, 4, 6, something, 10. Close enough. And this will basically just come in on a belt like that. Which means I need to filter here. Only the rare quality. Filters out. Like that. In here. Any better quality goes onwards. And then that has to be built into basically the same thing, but we'll just flip it. This will be epic quality. I'll make 2 of those. And it doesn't need to be stacked. They can go on the same belt, and this will then be epic quality in here. And that means this will be legendary quality, which will be just a single one. It's going to be so little that it really doesn't matter. Here and here, and that will be legendary. Oh, I can hear you screaming already. Don't worry, don't worry. We're gonna do that. And it's not gonna be fast, so this is not a problem to get it in here. And so what is it we are now getting out? This, what will this be? This will be an abundance of rare quality, some epic quality, and a little bit of legendary quality. We want anything that is not legendary to go away. So legendary goes onwards. There. That goes onwards, and then this becomes a upgrade here. And this goes back in. Like that. And again, none of this is going to be any way throughput constrained, so we don't care. Here. And this will then be, ta-da, the stuff we need. Well, what are we going to need? This is going to be our Kovarex build. Kovarex build is going to be a little bit interesting, I think, because it's going to be a little tricky. And we are not going to need a lot, unfortunately. So we're going to get this split into the legendary Uranium 238. And then that means that what we have over here is going to be Uranium 230, yeah, 235. And we're simply going to make a circle like this. It's ridiculously simple. That comes out. Okay, this one will be Kovarex. There. And then hopefully you will also start seeing the problem with this. That one. Here, here. And that one. Input, input. So this will just circulate, and at some point when this has circulated enough, I will be able to export it into a proper box. Let's get that here. But that's going to be constrained on how much I have in this box. So that means I'm going to constrain it by saying when you have uranium 235 in here, this box, greater than, I don't know, 40 or something, because that's one craft. Then you can start exporting it. We have another little thing here, is that if we craft these somewhere else, we want to also be able to bring them in. I do have another consideration, and that is actually, I want to do the same thing here. Because I want to make sure that we save some of this. Why do we don't save this? Well, we need it for this fuel cell. We actually need quite a lot of uranium 238. So if I use all of my uranium 238, then it's not really working. You are going to be there, and you're going to be going only when it's above 80. That's 4 crafts. Oh, that's just 100. 100 is such a nice number. There you go. 100 of those. Whatever. 50. Doesn't matter. It's something. Just a little bit of buffer. All right. Light. This is the simplest version and kind of important. Let's make sure we do this. Do I want a beacon on this? This is the most useless beacon ever, but we'll do it. Just because once it gets going, it should be going quite a bit. Okay. Is this working? I think so. The most important thing when you set up something like this is, will it actually destroy the wrong things? I don't think so, but let's see. We'll just start sending stuff in here, and then we'll be sending that out the other side. There. So that goes in, and we'll of course have more than we can probably handle right now. I think this works. Let's see. Let's get some lights. Yeah. Okay, we're starting to get a little bit out, and obviously this is ridiculously slow because, yeah, it's just a slow process. And it goes in here. Oh, look at that. We got a little bit. Yay. Okay, so as I was saying, can you start seeing the problem? Pretty good, actually. Pretty good that it comes out on 2 different sides. Let's see, how much? Oh, it's actually 2.1 of that. Ooh, nice. So we might actually need a little bit more of this just to burn through it. It is actually accruing at a pretty decent rate. Huh. And this is also stuck, or at least oversaturated. No. Well, actually, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it will when this one starts throwing out the other stuff. Okay, this is almost done. This box is almost done with the blue. Then it'll start with the next, and Here it's still 2.1 thousand. That's a lot. Okay, this is good. It works. Are we getting anything in here? No. Not a single one. And this is exactly the problem. So even though we have this, and this one could start being processed into uranium, we do not have that. We are we simply do not have it because we don't have the initial uranium 235 in legendary quality, and that's going to be the next little bit of headache. How do we get that? Okay, this is... Get you over there, and get you over there. Oh, that was quick. And yeah, okay, so I don't think we're gonna run out of epics. I think that this part, I think it'll work. It'll definitely be fast enough, so no problems there. We need 40 of these. So what are we gonna do? Well, we just so happen to have stockpiled quite a bit here. And how much is that? That's actually 50,000. So now it comes to us, and we think, okay, what are we actually gonna do? How do we convert these 50,000 we have in efficiently as possible way into uranium 235? So if we just take this and put it into a here with some modules, we would need 2,727 of these. That means if we look at the total amount, then that would actually give us 20. That's ridiculous, right? It will give us 20 legendaries. So we can't accept that, right? We can't accept that. What we could do instead was find something we can craft that could recycle. So if I capture beta spawners and recycle them, they become beta spawners. Biolabs become biolabs when recycled. Uranium fuel cells become uranium fuel cells. This one can't be done. The nuclear fuel is... I think nuclear fuel recycles into itself, right? It's definitely a thing that we want to confirm. So far it looks like it doesn't recycle at all. Oh, okay. Actually, it does actually recycle. That's interesting. It is incredibly slow though to get... this actually is interesting because that gives us two options for upcycling. The nuclear fuel, which takes a ridiculous amount of time. Of course, you can speed up 90 seconds, which also means this one is 90 seconds divided by whatever, by 16 to produce it. Come on, give us some uranium here so we can see that it works. Preferably a rare and uncommon. Yes, okay. So we can actually use this as an upcycling step because it gets us. If we do that, it gets us one extra roll of the dice. Only with 2, that's the problem. Okay, so that's the issue why this is not a good idea. The other alternative is more fun. It is, of course, nuclear power, because explosives are pretty cheap, and processing units are pretty cheap. So, sure, let's just upcycle atomic bombs. It is... consuming 24 per second in this build, and it produces. So this should be interesting. But then what I'd want to do if I wanted to upcycle this, I would build this and then recycle it. And then if I get uncommon, I would try to make uncommon and nuclear fuel, and then so on and so forth all the way up. That is going to be a design that looks very much like what we have here on Volcanus, and it's basically this idea, right? We get the stuff in, we produce it, and we recycle everything that is not the legendary in this case. Just only filter out the legendary. We should actually destroy this, but that's a different matter. So we need to build something like this, but for nuclear fuel, nuclear power. Here we are. We have a big recycler, or upcycler, as I call it. And what it does, it's exactly the same that we built for red circuits, green circuits, blue circuits, and many other things. It makes some normals, it makes some uncommons, it makes some rares, it makes some epics, and then it doesn't make the legendaries because the legendaries ingredients are what we need. And we have a lot of this. I just overscaled everything. This is consuming, let's have a look. This is consuming 80 per second. That is quite a lot. So if I have 50,000 in my storage and I consume 80 per second, that is 625 seconds of operation, and that is about 11 minutes. And of course, most of it goes back and again and again and again. So it should be pretty efficient at converting this. Let's give it a shot and see if it actually works. They go in the right places. They start producing. That's lovely. Why are the lights not turning on? Please turn on, dear lights. I don't want to set this to always on, but I kind of need to. I'm also setting up this teeny tiny little one because I just want one nuclear weapon. Yes, one legendary nuke. I think it's a nice thing to have. You never know when you need a legendary nuke. Okay, so this is also a thing. This is coming in at 8. I'm consuming 80 per second and is not stacked. Well, then I guess we need to stack it, right? Otherwise, this is completely useless. Yeah. We can also argue that I don't want to do that unless I have more than 1,000. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable thing to do. And this as well up here. Because then I at least keep some of it remaining. Good. And now that should get much further up the line and can... Oh, yeah, don't do these kind of things. I am not trashing things. Okay. Just make a... poor man's balancer. There we go. I'm gonna get these out here, and let's make sure that we don't accidentally start shooting it. That would suck. And that goes in, and it takes forever to do this, and they get out and get a little bit of the return. It's oh, look at that, it's actually legendaries already. And what is wrong? Oh, something trivial is here. What a trivial thing that went wrong. But look at that. We're actually getting some of those good items here. Right, so now we just sit and wait to see if things are working. We just want to see if it is processing. You can see that there are some uncommon ones that go through. Does that? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. And oh no. And yes indeed. Oh no. Well, that needs some fixing. We've managed to get one legendary nuke, which is nice. It's not something I need. It's something it's not something I need. It's something I want. Isn't that exactly what? The damage though is pretty sizable. And if you look here, it is, yeah, it's good. I don't know, but I don't know if they are really good at shooting shooting worms with. That's the only thing you'd want to use the nukes. But anyway, if we look at this, there is a little bit of coming in here, but it is just waiting for one more sort of batch before, or actually maybe 2 batches before it actually procs this. There's a little bit of epics going here. There. Ah, it's so close. So close. We've now consumed about half of it. We're down to 20,000, and there's probably 5,000 on the circulation here, and we are actually getting quite a decent amount of uranium-235. It comes out in batches, so whenever this is actually just one legendary nuke that's been deconstructed, and because then we get all of this, because it's 100 for each, 100 uranium for one bomb, so it's just one, and that means if I take this one and get out, I'd actually have enough for, we just need actually just need 2 legendaries to actually trigger or to start the Kovarex process, which is something we really want to do. So if we took this one out, sacrificed our one legendary nuke, then we would actually be able to start the Kovarex process. But I would much rather just let it chug along and then get it down to, oh, where is it? Down to 18,000 now. It goes pretty quick. We would just let it go down to stabilize where it's at 1k. Things have now stabilized, and we're now only getting inbound the uranium at the rate that we're producing at, and that means it slows down a lot. Let's have a look. We managed to get 2 nuclear weapons deconstructed, and that's something, right? That's something. This is how. So this is the best way to convert existing uranium-235 into legendary uranium-235. Now all we can do is, well, what we should do is we run out here and look at our Kovarex build. Let's see if that actually is working. All the way out here. Oh, that's far away. And I don't think it started because it usually takes like hours and hours and hours. Like, how many did we get? We got exactly 0. Exactly 0. So this was the problem with this build. Like, it's pretty good at generating uranium 238 legendary, but it's absolutely atrocious at generating uranium 235 legendary. And that's the bigger issue here. So we have already produced 163 plus 12, that's 175. It's actually really weird that we're not getting a single one. I'm just wondering now if I made a mistake somewhere. But no, I've just been unlucky. It's 0.7%, and it's not unreasonable that I have 170 and not a single one of the other ones. So yeah, that kind of sucks. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get a separate requester in here. And that will be... No, it will not be like that. It will be uranium, legendary, 40. Go. And that will be enough to get this started, which we'll get from the other upgrader. Oh, there was another little legendary there, but again... So because this part generates 0.7% uranium 235, the light green one, that means that this one has to craft a lot. A lot of these to get just a single output, and then we need to do that 40 times. It is ridiculous. So the best way of getting those... Oh, did we? No, we didn't get anything. It's just slow. So this is bad, but we are getting... Why is this one not working? This is actually working. This is not good. I guess you're not fast enough here. Huh. There we go. Now it flows much better. No stutter. Well, barely any stutter. Let's just say it like that. But I don't think we'll have any stutter once this one is operational. It's fine that it stutters a little bit here. And let's see. Yeah. As long as it's... The stutter should be propagated. Okay, let's see. We got this inbound and we still haven't gotten a single one. So now I am just going to get in here. And then we start this huffing and puffing. It goes pretty damn quick. And this one just goes around. Goes around, starts another round. And then we get slowly accrue a little bit more. So now it's up to level 4. There. 6 plus 6. Every circle we do is losing... it's actually losing 3 uranium 235s. Ooh, that's a lot. But it then gets 1 uranium 2... it loses 3 uranium 238s and gets 1.5 uranium 238. And of course there will be a little bit of stutter as it sort of moves it around. There we go. We got up to 15, and only when it does all of that. And that means now we have uranium 235. Why do we want to do that again? Oh yeah. This will only work. This will only get us, allow us to take something out once we have a little bit more. But at least as long as we have this going, then I can sneak out a little bit, right? I think that should be fine. We just take like 12 of those. I think we can do that. Sure. Oh, and I also need to get a little bit of the other one. So now we need to make the it's the fuel cells. Fuel cells. They are here. They can't be done anywhere else. They will need to be here. And legendary fuel cells. Thank you very much. Oh, legendary iron plates. We have that, right? We have that. That should be fine. Very, very important. Yes, please. And then we are going to just request things inbound for this. I love that we're putting it in a beacon because we need to produce it so fast. And I think we're ready to make it. Yes, we're getting a little bit. Oh, that was 40. I don't need more. I actually want to take that out. That's brilliant. I'm actually going to take that out here because we are in trouble here. This is just not getting enough. This one's only getting it when it has at least, let's actually say at least 19 because 19 is the number. Oh, and this one should probably be override stack. Like it's a small thing, right? It's a small thing. Maybe this should be stack size 3 and then it should be 22 so that I always retain at least 19 in this box. That makes more sense. Yep, because 19 is exactly what we need for one craft. And I can then put the other ones over here. And that means that we now have something that is available. We now have uranium. Okay, the remainder is flying back to somewhere. Oh, these two are annoying. Okay, let's make the last thing we wanted was actually making over here. That is this in legendary quality. Okay, the final piece of the puzzle is here. We're gonna craft there four brilliant ones. That's brilliant. And we still have some uranium fuel cells. That means one more step closer. 2, 1, 2, 3, and I thought, oh right, it's because of the stupid tool belts. Oh, the tool belts are not. Oh yeah, okay. So I was hoping I would get the achievement. Oh well, so I guess we need to figure that one out. And that's just a pretty obvious task for the next one, is we are going to make the tool belts. Or that's means carbon fiber. We are done with upgrading here on Navis. We now have something that's chugging along, making some uranium whenever we can. And yeah, I guess that's just where we're gonna leave this. And yeah, I'm gonna save this blueprint. It's kind of not really a clean blueprint in a sense that it's sort of not in a box, but I'm also going to make the nuclear weapon upcycler as well, and you can see that it is pretty much idle because now it's sort of only relying on that little trickle that comes in, so we can make it much smaller at this point, but I needed to convert my 50,000 quickly. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you want to follow along as we get on to the next stage of our legendary Let's Play. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care and stay effective.